We're back!
Hi, how are you guys?
Today we are going to do something a little bit different, but also kind of the same.
Oh, that sounds exciting. What is it?
It's called domain and range.
Oh, wow.
And if you can, look at numbers, then basically you can do it.
Seriously?
Yeah, pretty much.
I just have to look at numbers?
Yeah, pretty much. You might want to circle them.
If I can look at numbers and circle them, I can do this?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Hey, let's turn it over to Vincent and Voss because obviously we've got some things we got to go do.
Let's do it.
Hey! Whew. Hey guys, how are y'all? Today we're going to be going over these two things called domain and range. And we've got some little tractors over there to help us out just because we're on a farm.
Why
and
not?
We like tractors. So, Mrs. Benson, domain is all of the
X values.
ta-da! We've already been talking about X values
Yep.
when we were figuring out functions, right?
Exactly.
So we got some more X values here. We have another name, domain. You got it. Now, range is all of the,
Y values.
wow, we finally gave Y a purpose.
There are actually several names for these things.
Right.
And so this seems like a good time to tell you all the different names, and then if you have this paper, you can fill in the blanks, and if you don't, write these down in your notebook or whatever you're using to take notes in.
Absolutely.
Okay? So we talked last time about how the X values could also be called the input,
Yes.
and that made the Y the output. Okay? The ones that we just learned, all of the X values are called the domain, and all of the Y values are called the range. And then there are some that we're going to learn about here in, I don't know, a couple of weeks, but we're going to go ahead and write them down now. So we
Absolutely.
have the list of
All go
everything
together.
together. And that is, and you might know this from science, X values are also called the independent variable, and Y values are called the dependent variable. And you will have to know all of these for 8th grade math, for algebra, so store them somewhere in your brain.
Right. Okay. Hey, I see a piggy.
There is a piggy.
And the piggy has something to say. The piggy says, what do you get when you cross a pig with Superman?
I don't see an answer.
I bet it's on the next page.
Nope.
It's not?
Nope.
The next page? We'll find the answer eventually. No worries. So let's go to here first.
All right. So we're going to do some practice, and then y'all are going to do some practice, and we're going to call this a day. Okay? First one says, find the domain and range of the list of numbers.
Oh,
It should say
God.
the list of ordered pairs, but we're just going to pretend. Okay?
That's right. So let's look at this list, and we're going to look for domain and range. But first, let's go ahead and make ourselves some notes over here.
Okay.
By domain, right in front of it, we're going to write an X because we know those are our X values. And right in front of the range, we're going to write a Y because we know those are our Y values. So as we look through here, I'm going to write the parent or the what a coordinate pair looks like. It's parentheses X comma Y so that we don't make any mistakes about what goes where. Okay? Now, when you're listing the domain or range, you have to do these things called, in mathy terms, curly brackets.
Super
No.
fancy.
I don't know what they're called, actually. I think they're called brackets. I call them curly brackets because they have curlies on them. It seems
Yeah.
to make sense to me.
We talked about it once upon a time when we did order of operations,
Yes.
like 3 months ago.
Absolutely. So you draw a curly bracket at the beginning of domain, and then you start to put in X values. The first X value is,
-3,
the second X value is,
0,
and the third,
5,
and the fourth.
another -3.
Ah, do we have to repeat the same number when listing domain and range? We don't.
No.
So we've already gotten the -3 there. We're not going to put it down again. Now we're going to do the Y, which is the range, the Y values. So we've got a 2, a 9, a 1, and a -7. Okay. Now, we wrote these in the order they appeared.
Right.
Technically, what you would want to do is put them in ascending order. So Miss Benson is going to do that for you. All righty, what's next?
Okay, so that's how you do it from a list of ordered pairs, or from a table. It would be the same way. Just look at the X's, look at the Y's. If we have a graph, it's a little bit different. And
Yes.
there are two ways that we can find the domain and range from this graph. So I think we'll just do both ways.
Right. I think the
Right?
first way, we should probably just name the points
Right.
first. Okay? So when we name these points, let's look at this guy over here.
Okay.
We're going to have to go right 3 and up 3.
Mhm.
So this is 3, comma 3.
Perfect.
Okay? Then this fella here is -1, -2, -3, up +2. So that's our point there. And then this guy, he didn't move anywhere from the origin, did he? So that means that 0 is first, and then he went down -2.
And
Okay?
we can list our domain and range from those points,
Absolutely.
just like we did up here. Okay, so if we do domain first, that's all of our X numbers. You get -3, 0, and 3.
Okay. And you notice how we went left to right to keep them in order. Okay?
Mhm.
So now let's do the Y's. Let's start down here.
-2,
And then up,
2,
and then up.
3.
Perfect.
If you go up like that, it just keeps your numbers in order. If your numbers aren't in order, then just rewrite them so that they are.
Right, and just be careful. It's not a problem. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase what we have here. Now, what I want to talk about here is trying to find the domain and range strictly by using the y-axis and the x-axis, okay? So if you're looking for domain, that is the point, or where the point is according to the x-axis, all right? So all of your domain numbers are going to be here, okay? So this guy ended up there, but he started right there. This guy ended up there, but he started right there. This one ended up there, but he started right here. So that would be -3, 0, and 3, which matches with your domain. Okay? So now, I think I'm going to go ahead and erase that too. I'm going to do it for the y-axis. So, this is my y-axis. Y values are the range. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Start from this guy. He is at -1, -2, because this time you're counting on the y-axis. Then this guy here, he connects right there, which is +2, which is right there. And then this guy is right there, which is +3.
All right. So y'all are going to do these two examples. Come back, check your answers, and then we're going to do one more.
All right, sound like a plan?
Here we go.
We're back. Let's see what you did. Miss Benson, how'd you do this?
Okay, so this one was asking for the domain, and I wrote a little reminder to myself that domain means X, and they gave us a table, and these are my favorite for finding domain and range because they split it into columns for you. There's no looking through points. There's no looking at a graph. The answer is right there.
Right.
Okay, so our domain was all the X values, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, range is the Y values. So I went through each point and I found the Y values, 0, -2, 4, 5, 6, and I just made sure I wrote them in order down here. So if you just have those two switched, it's not wrong. We just put them in ascending order.
Okay.
All right, we got one more example for y'all to try. This one is a graph, and this time it wants the domain and range.
Okay, I understand. But first, we know now that what do you call when you cross a pig with Superman? The Man of Squeal.
Had to wait so long.
That was awesome. I love it. All right, so are they going to do this
So
one for
y'all
us?
go do that, write the domain range, and we'll be right back. Here are your answers. I'll let y'all read those. I've already put them in order. If you have the right numbers, but they're out of order, that's why, because I put them in ascending order.
And if you need more explanation on that, just talk to your teachers, okay?
Mhm.
We are here to help you succeed, and we believe that everybody can do great things with math.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, this is not as hard as maybe some have been led to believe. And, a lot of times people come in and they say, look, I don't do math. Honey, everybody can do math.
Mhm.
You just have to learn how to love it. That's it. See you later.